Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Hang on. I'm on the
Oh,
wrong.
yeah, we have technical difficulties. All right.
No. I'm on the wrong computer. I
On
was
the
looking
wrong
at the other
computer.
computer.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go. Welcome, Nerd Nation, to this latest edition of the Sports Nerd Show. We are a collection of sports nerds whose mission is to bring you as much sports talk as time allows over the next 60 minutes. Although we will strive to be highly informative and equally as entertaining over the next hour, we must warn you that there may be some cuss words along the way. But we don't give a damn, because that is the way most humans in the real world tend to talk, and we, the sports nerds, are no exception. So without further ado, Nerd Nation, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride as I present to you the founder and host of this crazy-ass show, Scott, the Sports Nerd Wright. Oh, shit.
Already you saying no shit. What's going on with that?
What?
You good? All right.
Welcome, everybody, man. Come on.
You are looking live at another episode of Sports
shit.
Nerds. I'm your host, Scott, the Sports Nerd Wright, coming to you from Lakeland, Florida, and along with my co-host, producer Elliot Big E Lamba. Ken Koslow is not here, but he is part of the team, and of course, Mr. Professor Wayne Lynch. We will discuss the top sports stories of the day, and at times the not so top stories. So buckle up, grab a beverage, and enjoy. We are live Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday nights on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. If you missed the live broadcast, you can watch the replays on Spotify, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, and on the blockchain via Peak. Happy birthday, Eve, to me.
Oh, man.
I turn 58 tomorrow morning. I may not live to 59, but we'll see how that goes. Just saying. I was talking to Elliot before the show. I cannot believe I am 58 freaking years old. Another bombshell is my mother will be 80 in November. So I wish I could go back just 20 years. 20 years is fine. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
Man, I'm 63. My mother's 90. What are you complaining about, dude?
You're gonna collect that Social Security in a couple of years, aren't you, Elliot?
You're complaining. No, Social Security, I get that now. Disability.
Because of disability, right? Okay.
But I'll still get it until I'm 67, which is 2028.
Well, I can't retire until I'm 67 either to get the full Social Security. So I fall in that framework of Gen X that has to wait until they're 67.
Yep, that's me.
Anyway, we recapped the Monday night game and the Sunday night game on Tuesday. Tonight we have Buffalo and Miami playing in Miami.
Hopefully nobody gets arrested on the way to the stadium.
On the way to the stadium. I think Buffalo's good since they're flying in. Don't get a police escort to begin with.
And make sure you roll your windows down when the cops.
As long as all the players get on the bus to get to the stadium, it should be fine, Wayne. You're correct.
Make sure to follow the police's commands. If they tell you to roll down your window, you roll down your down window.
Exactly.
Just because you got 800 kids doesn't give you any special privilege.
Right. You know what? And Buffalo has a very good record in Miami against the Dolphins over the last few years. But you know what, guys? I'm not sure. I think Miami's playing better than they have in a long time. So
they just barely beat Jacksonville by 3 points.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah, that was because of a fumble inside the red zone by
exactly. You know what? And I tend to agree with you. If it hadn't been for that fumble as he was on the 1 yard line,
not to mention
won that game.
Not to mention Mostert's out at HN is very questionable.
Okay, so that's good.
So they're going to wind up playing third and fourth string running backs tonight.
But you still got the wide receiver core where you got Waddle and you got Tyreek Hill in there. So we'll see how.
Yeah, but if you can't run the ball, that doesn't do your receivers any favors.
Yeah, if you can't run the ball, if they shut down the running game, it's going to be difficult in the passing game.
Exactly.
So you guys are saying Buffalo has the advantage and they're going to win this game tonight?
I think so.
I give them a slight edge, personally. Of course, and we all know, and at least in my opinion, I don't know about you guys, but at least in my opinion, Josh Allen, far better quarterback than Tua Tagovailoa.
Yes, he is. I agree with you on that wholeheartedly, Wayne.
Well, and again, I think it comes down to the fact that Miami's not going to be at full strength at the running back position, and that when you're not at full strength against a team like Buffalo, that can wind up getting you in trouble.
Hi, Sheila. Sheila in the house, guys.
What's up, Sheila?
The only thing I say about Miami, Mike McDaniels is coming off.
He's a hell of a coach, man.
And so he was the running back coordinator in San Francisco. So he might scheme it up pretty decent, even with the third or fourth string running back. So you never know.
I got to hand it to Mike McDaniel. He is one of the more innovative coaches in the NFL, and he's proven that in Miami. The guys, I mean, despite his,
you got to be innovative when you look like a Coke dealer.
I was going to say, despite his outward appearance, and I mean, saying, I mean, you got to admit he's not playing with all the bulbs in the attic there, guys. I'm just saying, but he is a great coach. The players believe in him. He believes in his players. He's done a fantastic job in Miami ever since he went down there.
And how many titles have they won?
What's that?
How many titles have they won? How many?
They haven't won any titles. I know, but he's still a good coach. But
good.
Got to get over this Buffalo issue, and Buffalo has been owning the Dolphins for many, many years. And until they get over that obstacle, they're going to be.
The only thing I see Miami might have a slight advantage in is that Jordan Poyer plays for them, and he used to play for the Bills, so he pretty much knows the entire damn playbook, and that could cause problems.
It could, but you know what? Miami's in a position where, and I'm of the opinion that they got to show us, not just say it. You know what I'm saying? Because they haven't proven they can beat Buffalo. I mean, their record is abysmal against the Bills, whether it's in Miami or Buffalo. Their record is abysmal. And they need to get over that hump if they're going to move forward, if they're going to get into the championship discussion, is what I'm thinking.
Well, and part of the problem with them is that if the weather's under 70 degrees, they're not the same team.
That happened to them in Kansas City last year in the playoffs. They just couldn't handle the
weather.
weather.
I'm saying. If it's under 70 degrees, they don't have a great record.
And of course, later on in the year, when they go back to Buffalo, if it's later on when it gets
Week
colder,
it's week 9, I think.
Week 9. What's that? Mid-October, early November.
Yeah,
Yep.
nice. Yeah. They're not going to win in Buffalo. That just goes no.
The one edge I give Buffalo, even though Poyer's with Miami now, is that Josh Allen is free to go through his progressions as opposed to always looking for Stephon Diggs.
Yes.
So that I think that will be one of the main issues for the Miami defense.
Well, you know what, and I mean, Josh Allen had. I mean, they this is like the second or third year in a row that they've got a complete redo on their receivers in Buffalo. And I wish Dave was here so we can go into it, but he's not here, so we won't talk about it. But regardless, I mean, he's got a whole new receiving core to throw to. But he also showed last week the limitations of that receiving core because Josh Allen had to rush for those two touchdowns in order to win that game last week. So I mean,
he does that anyway.
If you're gonna
he had 2 passing touchdowns as well.
Right, he had 2 passing touchdowns, but he also ran for 2. And I'm telling you, if this offense is going to depend on Josh Allen running the football, he's going to get hurt.
He's bigger than a lot of the defensive backs in that secondary. Okay, first of all,
he's what 239, 240.
Yeah, he ain't your average size quarterback. Okay,
he ain't 212 running around back there.
This is why he takes people on, because he knows he's probably just as big, if not bigger, than a lot of them. Especially the deeper you get into the defense.
Yeah, he can avoid the 280, 290s guys, just dance around those, and then he loads his shoulders on cornerbacks and safeties.
Yeah, but you got to believe the head coach Sean what's his face doesn't want him doing that. He doesn't want his quarterback having.
But what if he has no choice?
That's where
that's Josh Allen's game.
Right, but then again, this is again where I come in and say, as long as he has to do that, it may not be a good thing in the long run.
It's not ideal, obviously.
No, it's not ideal.
Nobody wants their quarterback running around and then potentially getting hurt. But I don't know. he's proven to be pretty sturdy and pretty durable.
And he's also been known to go ahead and lay the wood to defensive backs and end up injuring
And put them out, yeah.
Yeah.
So, again, I think it all comes down to game plan. And I think tonight the game plan is going to be just run up and down the field on Miami and push that defense and just limit turnovers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And see what kind of scheme Miami comes out with offensively. Because if they have a third or fourth string back in there, of course they're going to
They're going to
pay
keep
closer attention to Waddle and Hill.
Yeah, they're going to drop back in nickels and dimes, rather than having to, worry about the rushing game.
How good is Miami's defense, guys?
Middle.
Middle of the pack.
Okay.
I mean,
they weren't really able to stop Trevor Lawrence and the Jags last weekend.
No, Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars stopped the Jacksonville Jaguars last week.
they stopped themselves. Exactly. And again, Miami should have lost that game. So I'm not going to buy into the Miami hype, because it's like Tua said earlier today on ESPN. He's like, look, as long as we don't win in Buffalo, if we win tonight, it doesn't mean anything. Because people are going to say you actually have to win in Buffalo before we believe you have any chance.
Correct.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And again, bad weather, cold weather, that's not who Miami is. And if they can't get home field advantage throughout the playoffs,
it's over.
It's over.
Anybody want to hear my crazy dark horse upset of the weekend?
Go ahead.
Tennessee beating the Jets.
That's an upset, really?
I wouldn't think that's really an upset, to be honest with you, because I think the Jets are overhyped. To be honest,
I think they are overhyped.
They are overhyped.
Yep.
I could see where in some circles that would be considered an upset, but I just don't see it. I don't put enough value in Jets or Titans to consider that's even a game, to be honest with you, much less worried about anything else. But it wouldn't be – see, upset of the week is something that everybody would be shocked happened. Nobody's going to be shocked.
Carolina beating the Chargers.
Yeah, that would be a shock. Well,
it's not going to be a shock to nobody.
The Titans over the Jets will be a shock to Greeny. That would be.
Well, you know what? And again, the Jets and the Titans are pretty much on the same level as far as that's concerned. It's an even matchup as far as I'm concerned.
And the Titans have always played well against the Jets.
Yes, they have, and the Titans are at home. So
yeah,
you're looking at upsets. You're looking at Carolina beating the Chargers. You're looking at the Giants maybe beating the Commanders.
You know what I'd think would be a major upset would be the Raiders beating the Ravens.
That would be a major upset. Yes,
that would be huge. Yeah, it would be huge
in Baltimore.
Yeah. That would be not huge. That would be, how they say, ginormous. That would be ginormous.
Yeah, that would definitely send some bettors to the funny farm.
What happened to Scott? He froze up.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, he's frozen up over there. Anyway, before things fall off the rails, definitely Minnesota, Sam Darnold. I think there he is. I think
I don't know what happened there. I don't know. I was in the middle of asking you a question.
Yeah.
Do you guys worry about the Vikings this week when the Niners come to them on the road in Minnesota? I mean, after
I was just going to say Sam Darnold's going to be in for a tough time.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, that defense, if they play like they did Monday night, he's going to be in for a tough time. He will see ghosts again.
Not just that, but San Francisco is going back for revenge after losing to Minnesota last season.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, you're right. They did. They did lose to Minnesota
before halftime last year when Charvarius Ward tried to go for an interception when all he had to do was just tackle the dude.
And Addison took it to the house.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So
again, I think the The only thing the Niners have to worry about is, was Mason a one-time thing, or is he gonna? Because it doesn't look like McCaffrey's playing this week either.
Yeah, they're not going to put him on that turf. I don't believe they're going to put him on that turf.
No.
Well, you got
And if
JJ.
Jordan Mason's going to play the way he is, they can keep McCaffrey on the bench as long as they want to.
Yep.
And JJ is really the only threat the Vikings have at this point. So I mean, but Darnold played.
Aaron Jones ain't no slouch now.
Huh?
Aaron Jones ain't no slouch now.
Well, no. I mean, you got Aaron Jones too in the backfield, right?
You trying
And
to say
you know what? And Sam Darnold played one of the best games he's ever played since coming into the league. But again, that was against the Giants. Let's see what he does against a top tier defense.
Imagine what happens when you put somebody on a better team than they've been used to for the entire career.
Well, yeah, he looked like he was better than what he did with the Jets, and I mean, he played well.
Nobody does anything with the Jets. Come on now.
He played well for the Niners last year too, guys. I mean, he did.
When he got a chance to play, yeah.
When he was in there. Don't forget about his stint in Carolina. Don't forget about his stint in Carolina.
He's a talented guy, but he's been in the wrong situations.
New York and Carolina.
New York, Carolina. I mean, I think it benefited him to go to San Francisco so he could learn how real quarterbacks play.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I agree. I think San Francisco was a great learning for him, great learning opportunity for him, and I think it showed. Plus, you know what? He's in a good spot now with Minnesota. Because JJ McCarthy's not coming back since he went down with an injury, so it's Darnold's team for the remainder of the season, and I mean I'm really interested in that game this week because there's that what if kind of thing going on. Is he going to do well? Is he not going to do well? How does he do against a top tier defense? And has he learned enough to where he can get into the game and get in the flow and be effective? So, that's one of the games I'm looking at this weekend to see how he does. Is he going to be I'm seeing ghost Sam Darnold, or is he going to be how he was against the Giants?
He definitely didn't see ghosts against the Giants last week.
No. He might have seen angels, but he damn sure didn't see no ghosts. And then also Kevin O'Connell is a decent was a decent OC and now a decent head coach.
Yeah.
So, but then again, it's an entirely different system, obviously, than what Shanahan ran. So we'll see how he does in that system.
Yep. So, but yeah. What other games are you guys looking at for this weekend as we preview the week 2 in the NFL?
What are you guys going to do down in Jacksonville there, Scott? Oh, especially now with Myles Garrett on the injury report.
Well, but they're saying it's a mild issue with his foot. It's not going to be a factor whether or not he plays or not.
Yeah, it ain't going to be a factor till he gets out on the field.
Yeah, true. But still, with the Browns going to Jacksonville, this is a game that could go either way. It depends on what number 4 does as far as coming back from the previous week. And what he does there.
He doesn't even call him Watson.
He doesn't even mention his name anymore.
Nope.
Number 4.
I will not mention his name. I will say number 4.
He put him in Trump class, number 45.
Correct. It all depends on what number 4 does. There have been new accusations come out this week as well towards him. These accusations are more harsh than the previous ones, because it's actually sexual assault.
Hey, you know what? He's only got 50 games left with the Browns, so be happy.
Go fuck yourself, Ellie.
Well, the young lady who made the accusation, she's supposed to meet with the NFL within 2 weeks.
2 weeks, and they've got video of something going on too. There's a video to go along with her.
What is it with video? Did you guys see the thing with Shannon Sharp?
No.
You know what? The motherfucker didn't get hacked.
No, he
went
didn't.
live on accident.
He admitted it, but a video went on while he was having sex with somebody,
doing the nasty with somebody. Yeah, a little bit more than what he wanted to put out there, but he went live on Instagram, and it just caused a ruckus.
It serves the Black Barney right.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how long it's going to be before ESPN fires his ass for that, but that's just me. But yeah, it's God, that's hilarious.
How does everything get out on video accidentally? There. Never mind. I'm not even going to go there. Leave it alone.
Oh, that's too funny. But as far as the Browns go, again, it's going to depend on how number 4 comes back from that miserable game he had last week. And if the
Maybe he'll act like he wants to play quarterback this
right,
week.
not only that, but again, the defense has a lot of injuries. A lot of players went on IR this week on the defensive side, so that's got me concerned as well. So we'll see what happens. I'm not holding my.
You guys are the ones that cut bait with a quarterback that is better than the one you have now.
God, don't remind me, Elliot. God. That statement could include one of 2 quarterbacks, meaning Baker and Joe Flacco, because Flacco did great for the Browns.
No. Flacco was a novelty. Flacco doesn't have a long-term place in the NFL. Cleveland got him because they needed somebody. They needed a body back there,
right?
And he just happened to deliver.
I'll tell you what, that's why he earned Comeback Player of the Year. So
yeah, that body performed quite well.
Does he have a full season in him?
I don't think so.
No.
You
know, so why
let me ask you this, guys.
You're not going to pay money for Joe Flacco if you already spent $235 million
think about Jameis Winston coming in and taking over for number 4?
That's what they're going to need to do at some point, but are they even going to be in the playoff picture when that happens?
There's no point in doing it in week 10 when you're 2-8.
Fuck you, Wayne. Anyway, I say that with all the love I have in my heart for you, Wayne, but fuck you.
It's like right now, you look at the Green Bay Packers. They might not be in playoff contention by the time Jordan Love comes back.
Well, because Willis is not proven.
Because Malik Willis is garbage.
Yeah, I mean he got pushed aside by the Titans, and he went to.
He got beat up by Levis. Levis, okay?
Yeah. And Will Levis isn't exactly Joe Montana either.
Yeah, the most horrible interception I've seen in quite some time last week.
I loved the screenshots of him being on his knees going, oh!
That was one of the most horrible interceptions I've seen lately.
Cutting bait with Baker Mayfield to get Deshaun Watson. Well, you've seen the memes I put up. Worst move in Browns history, and you know what I mean.
I like the one with Tony Soprano. That look on your face when.
Yes, I mean, and you know what? Going back to that, I don't know if it was a rift between Baker and Stefanski, or what it was. Maybe even the ownership or Andrew Berry, but. I am so very happy to see him doing well in Tampa because I still got a warm spot in my heart for Baker because of what he did while he was in Cleveland. But he was pretty much pushed aside after a injury-plagued season a couple of years ago, this last year with the Browns, and they cut bait. And you know what? I don't know. I don't know if he had an issue with the receivers, with the coaching staff. I don't know what it was, but he wasn't happy in Cleveland, despite the progressive commercials where he was living in the stadium.
Well, I think he's grown up a lot since he left Cleveland.
Well, that and he did that in Carolina, and when he went to the Rams, that's what changed everything.
Because he was a petulant child when he played with Cleveland.
Yes.
Okay. And that definitely can cause a rift between yourself and coaching, management, and all that kind of stuff.
Well, when he really got coached up in L.A. and did a very good job down the stretch for the Rams while he was in L.A. Even though they brought him in on a 1-year contract. But then when he gets to Tampa, everything has changed, and I'm very happy for him. I mean, I wish him well. I wish him success. What, Elliot? What's so funny?
There's this guy out here. It's the fantasy football stardom sit-em.
Yep.
One guy goes, "I need help. Do I start Mahomes or Watson?"
Really?
I know he was being thoroughly facetious.
I hope he was being facetious in that
Sarcastic, facetious. Choose the words you want.
God. So, but I'm like I said, I'm glad to see Baker doing well in Tampa. And living here in the Bay Area, I kind of sort of am rooting for the Bucks because of Baker, only because of Baker. And I also like Mike Evans, but that's just neither here nor there. It's about Baker for me. So, plus
I know you guys are lamenting right now. All you Cleveland fans are lamenting right now.
Right, but you know what?
Do you know what you could have done with those extra $235 million?
You could have put an offense to go with that defense. Yeah, well, hey, that's can't cry with spilled milk.
The worst contract in the history of the NFL.
Shout out to my brother Tim, who just popped on.
Yeah,
worst
Tim's
move
here.
ever. I mean, it's all
Tim
over.
Here. Kevin is here as well.
Yeah, so that 235 million that
he still had. You know what?
Fully guaranteed.
After this season, they still will owe him $92 million in guaranteed money
for 2 more years. Yeah.
Come on, this say his name, man. Don't say number 4.
No, number 4. It's number 4. Not going to say his name. But there may be a way for the Browns to get out, depending on how serious these new allegations are. It all depends on whether or not the allegations fall within what he's already been served as far as time off or whatever, or suspension, whatever, or if it's not connected to those previous cases at all. The Browns may have a way out, depending on the wording, based on the wording of his contract. So it's a wait and see thing. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm a big fan of excuse me, I don't want to say that name. I am a big fan of Jameis Winston. I firmly believe that because he got LASIK surgery, he is a much better quarterback than what he was in Tampa. I don't think he's going to have the amount of interceptions that he had while he was in Tampa because of the LASIK surgery. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, even when Jameis was in Tampa, I mean, it was either a nice, beautiful, long spiral pass to someone or an interception.
Yeah. Yep.
So his ability.
The guy's got talent. The guy's got talent.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't deny it. So.
Whenever ESPN did a 30 for 30 on Jameis Winston's 30 for 30, you knew there was an issue.
Well, there'll be crab legs involved and other things going on with him off the field. It is what it is.
So Patrick Mahomes is the 12th highest paid quarterback in the entire NFL.
Oh, that's going to change. That's going to change.
Okay. He has more Super Bowls, 3, than all other 11 quarterbacks ahead of him combined, which have 0.
And he's going for a 3rd in a row this year.
And
nothing I've seen tells me it's not going to happen.
As Lee Corso would say, not so fast, my friend.
Not so fast, my friend. Okay.
Because
there's a lot of quality teams out there, but
maybe you haven't seen my background behind me.
Well, yeah, but again, I'm talking AFC. I'm not talking.
Okay.
I mean, what team in the AFC is right now you think is built to beat Kansas City?
In the
AFC, list or no list?
I can.
Remember, it's about the way you call a game and your game plan. The two teams that have the best usually always have the best game plans against Kansas City are Buffalo and
Cincinnati.
Okay, it's not about anything but how do you coach your team against a specific team to get constant success?
Right.
And so McDermott and them have figured out a way. It's in Cincinnati, what's his name? Shane Taylor or something like that?
Yeah, Sean Taylor, I think his name is.
Yeah. So it's not a lot of people don't take this into consideration. It's all about game planning. How many times have the Kansas City Chiefs blown out Buffalo?
They haven't blown up Buffalo. It's always been a close
game. How many times have they blown out Cincinnati?
None. It's always been close games.
I'll throw a third team in the mix, even though it's a newfound success for them. Their defense is pretty good. I got Houston as my dark horse in the AFC. I have Houston as my dark horse in
Well, as
the
long as
AFC.
they've got CJ
I
Stroud.
think if Houston could get home field, that'd be
If they get home, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they can get home field some way, somehow, then yeah, I think they would be a nice matchup, basically for
Did they
anyone.
beat Kansas City last year?
I don't
I don't remember if they played them or not. I'd have to take a look. But if they get home field, if Houston gets home field, I think they could take anybody. The Ravens, Kansas City, Cincinnati, any of those top tier teams.
Hell, it might bring J.J. Watt out of friggin' retirement, for God's sake.
Yeah,
Or somehow get T.J. Watt from Pittsburgh, which of course we know that won't happen, but wishful thinking on their part.
God, I hate T.J. Watt. God, I hate
Yeah, I know you do.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But look at it this way: at least you do say his name.
Yeah, but I won't say Four's name. I won't say it. You guys speak among yourselves. I'll be right back. I gotta make a run real quick. Hang on.
Well, since he stepped away, let's talk about the team that's just running roughshod, or ran roughshod, I should say, over the Jets on Monday night, because I thoroughly enjoyed.
Oh hell yeah! Come on, man.
I thoroughly enjoyed that.
And we did it without Christian McCaffrey.
That you know what? If Jordan Mason is going to run like that on Monday night, and then probably, as we already talked about, on Sunday, since it's turf and they probably don't want to put McCaffrey
Teams are
on
going to be in deep trouble trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
If you get Mason and you get McCaffrey and they can ball together
Yep.
like that, it's over for the NFC, dude.
Well, like they said on the broadcast the other night, if McCaffrey was just a slot receiver, he'd still be an All-Pro. If he was just a slot receiver, he'd be an All-Pro.
Right.
So if you had he and Mason on the field together, along with Debo, Ayuk, and then when Pearsall is able to come back from the inactive list, that's a gang of talent on the offensive line, on the offense, and then of course Trent Williams on the offensive line, I should say. So
yeah, he had to lead the game and get an IV on.
Yeah, when you don't play the whole preseason and then you run 60, 70 plays, yeah, you're gonna need an IV.
What killed me is people criticizing Brandon Ayuk for missing that catch in the end zone or whatever catch he missed.
Oh yeah, the one in the end zone. Yeah, he should have caught that. He
should have.
He
should have.
Yeah.
But just remember, he didn't train. He didn't have a full training camp at all. And the mechanics suffer when you don't have it, when you're not practicing or training. Okay.
And ball coordination.
Exactly. And I'm sorry, but there have been players that actually train the entire offseason and stuff like that drop passes like that.
I go away from him. It's a San Francisco love fest. I could have predicted that, but that's okay.
Yeah, we're talking about a winning football team.
Yeah,
winning football team. I see.
A winning football team where we actually say the quarterback's name.
Yeah, I'm not saying the name. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it right now. I will not say his name for the remainder of the season. I won't say.
Yeah, we say our quarterback's name.
Just say number 4. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm enjoying this. I don't know why, but I am.
Just because you love to see me in my Cleveland misery.
Let me put us something out there that'll calm him down a little bit. How'd you like that comeback by the Mets yesterday against Toronto?
That no hitter going into the 9th inning.
Into the 9th inning, then Lindor hits a home run, and then they score 6 runs, and then now you guys are 1 game behind the Mets.
What? See, now I'm irritated.
Well, the Mets are actually they're up against the Braves.
You see how to reverse his course?
Yeah, the Braves are trailing the Mets in the National League East. Come on, who thought it was?
Yeah, but I mean, no one cares if you got 2 injuries or you got 30 injuries.
Oh, here comes the excuses, Elliot.
There's no excuse. No, that's what I'm saying.
They just lost another All-Star, so
yeah, no one cares if you got 2 injuries or 30 injuries. You got to play, and this is one of those years where it's not the pitcher's fault. It's not the pitching. Yeah, with Acuna out and a few other players, Albies out, Riley out,
Strider.
They can't score more than 3 runs a game. That game the other night against the Nationals, that 12-0 win, in this year, that's an anomaly.
Yeah,
that's an absolute anomaly.
the
So
Braves.
you're still one game behind the Mets now.
I was
Still
gonna say,
one
you're
game behind the Mets.
You're still trailing the Mets, Wayne. Come on now.
Yeah, but the Mets got Philly coming up 7 games in the next 10 days. So
Oh, good Lord. You know what? That's going to be a great series with the Braves and the Phillies. That's going to decide where the Braves are right there.
no, the Mets. The Braves
the
and the
Mets,
Phillies.
okay.
Yeah, the
All
Braves and the Braves and the Phillies are done for the year.
Okay.
And then the Braves have the Mets the last week of the season, 3-game series in Atlanta.
Well, as long as you're within 3 games of them,
Well,
that should be.
you know, all that matters to me is the Guardians got the number 2 seed in the AL. So we'll see how that goes.
The number 2 seed in the AL.
Yes.
I'm assuming that means they don't have the best record anymore.
No, you know what? I'm not saying they did, but they've at least, I mean, they're firmly in number 2 seed in the American League, behind who's it? Not the Yankees.
I think it's the Yankees right now. The Yankees are a half game up on Baltimore.
1.5.
1.5. Oh, okay. Then that will not only make you happy, Elliot, but also my brother. For some reason, yeah, he's a Yankees fan. I don't understand.
Good man.
I mean, he's a 49ers fan too, so I'm confused.
Hey, that works.
Yeah, so yeah.
So, Scott, you might be in for some happy times here.
How so?
Because it appears the Browns just may be able to get out from Watson's contract.
Well, provided there's a situation, and if, again, like the language in his contract says, if it's an egregious violation.
This last offense, this last thing that came up,
Yep.
opened that door.
Yep.
For them to terminate his contract and release him outright.
Yep.
And not have to worry about that remaining 92 million.
92 million after this year, yeah.
Yep. Free up that 92 million.
The Browns may have the option to remove themselves from the 5-year deal. I bet you're praying for that. You're gonna be lighting some candles tonight, ain't you? Sacrifice a couple chickens, you might be good.
Hell's going on with MLB.com? Hang on.
And if all else fails, you can say Beetlejuice 3 times.
There you
Yeah.
go.
There you go. You guys seen the new Beetlejuice?
No, not yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
It's pretty funny. Pretty funny.
Let's take a look.
What else we got going on, man?
Well, again, I'm looking at the schedule this week, guys. I mean, again, the Guardians, actually tied with the Yankees right now for the AL's best record. They're tied.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we're
But the Yankees have a tiebreaker because they've beat them.
Yeah, that's not surprising. Yeah. That's not surprising. What else we got? I don't know. What else we got? What do you want to talk about, Elliot? You got any other interesting matchups for this weekend? I mean, especially after the surprises from this past week with Chicago's defense coming back and winning on that. The Bengals pretty much getting blown out by the Patriots. That was a surprise.
6 points is not a blowout, Scott.
Well, but still, they still lost. Nobody expected New England to win that.
I understand, but it's not a blowout. Okay, let's get that right. Let's not deceive the view. Let's not deceive the viewers with false words and definitions. Okay,
less than a touchdown, not a blowout.
A blowout has to be at least double digits.
But New England's defense is what stopped the Bengals. That's what it was. It was all about.
No, they didn't blow them out. They shut them down.
Yeah,
they shut them down cold.
Right. Here's an interesting game, and they're both 0-1. That's Indy and Green Bay. If whoever loses that game, you guys think it's going to be hard for them to make the playoffs. Whoever loses that game, it's at Lambeau.
It's in Lambeau.
Yeah.
I still give the edge to Indianapolis because if they got Malik Willis at quarterback.
That's all you got to say, dude. Those are the only 2 words we need to say. Malik Willis.
Yeah, Green Bay.
Don't be
The
surprised if the
Cheeseheads.
Packers are 0-4, 0-5 by the
Yeah.
time Jordan Love comes back.
Yeah, Cheesehead's not going to be happy.
Nope. Their season ended on that last play of the game in Brazil.
Wow, I can't believe it
In
happened.
Brazil.
It actually happened the next to last play. But yeah, I mean, I can't believe he got hurt on the next to last play of the game. That's just terrible, awful. The other thing I'm looking at.
Well, once again, while you're looking that up, once again, I say if you're going to have these games, you got to do something with the field.
Is New England going to go 2-0 this week against Seattle?
That's a very good question.
That's a good-
and
that's
it's
a good
in New
question.
England.
It's in New England,
And it's in New England, yeah.
and it's in New England.
That's
Going to be interesting.
now, I'll tell you what, who in the hell placed a bet saying that the New England Patriots would be 2-0 after week 2 in the NFL?
Whoever made that bet, Elliot, is a very rich person at this point, depending on how much they bet.
Yeah, that had to be one of the longest shots ever.
Playoff
Who does
rematch.
Cincinnati play?
Playoff rematch between Tampa and Detroit. It's in Detroit.
That's
Detroit.
gonna be I think that's going to be a high-scoring game.
I think Detroit.
Detroit should pull it out, but the way Baker Mayfield's playing,
Baker is balling, man. He really is.
I'm telling you, he found his niche, and now he's balling like a bitch.
If you want to go to the Panthers game this week in Charlotte, you can get them for $23.
That much?
$23.
They still
That's how much you get
overcharging?
into the game.
Yeah, that's what my brother just put in on Facebook. Said if you want to get go to the Panthers game, you can get tickets for $23.
Wow.
I still say that's overpriced. What a ripoff.
I mean, you got the Chargers coming to town that historically they don't have a great time when they play on the East Coast.
Who?
The Chargers.
Yeah, but they remember they
Yeah,
had
but
Brandon Staley.
that's the Chargers over the idiot that used to be their coach. This is-
Brandon
Oh,
Staley.
man, you got Jim McMahon. I mean, not Jim McMahon. Give me God.
Now here's an interesting one. I think New Orleans at Dallas.
Ooh. Dallas will win. Don't let New Orleans fool you. They played Carolina last week.
Well, no,
Yeah.
not. Yeah, they played Carolina and 47 points, even against Carolina, was a lot. But I don't know, man.
I still think because it's actually on turf, not grass, or is it grass in Dallas? I think it's still turf.
Yeah,
I think New Orleans could go into Dallas and give them a hard
The
time.
Dallas field is pretty.
Remember the running back that ran roughshod in them in the first round of the playoffs last year? Who was the running back that ran all over them
over
Dallas?
Cleveland.
in the first game of the playoffs last year?
Oh,
When they
playoffs.
lost.
Aaron Jones,
Yeah. Who's he play for?
Minnesota.
Okay. Who's Alvin Kamara?
Yeah, he's still in New Orleans.
Yep.
He's back in his full form.
Yeah, he's still there in New Orleans.
He's
And-
100% healthy. You're right. He's 100% healthy finally.
I want New Orleans to win, but as Billy D. Williams would say, don't let the smooth taste fool you.
Well, Dallas is on upset alert this week.
Look at Wayne. Look at, is that Colt 45 freaking reference? Are you kidding me? He's bringing up a Colt 45 reference. That's how damn old we both are, Wayne. I recognize that reference.
Don't
Oh
let
my
the smooth
God.
taste fool you.
That's a sports nerd moment to remember. Wayne bringing up a Colt 45 reference. That's awesome, sir. I got to clap. And give you
Is that the
for
Houston Colt 45s?
I said Colt 45. Yes, sir.
Colt 45, Billy D. Williams.
Yep. Wow. Holy cow.
About the
Oh.
Rams at Arizona?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Rams at Arizona. Tell you what.
Arizona should have beat Buffalo last
Cardinals
week.
looked
So,
good against the Bills last week. They
yeah,
really
Arizona
did.
should have beat Buffalo in Buffalo last week. So I give them a puncher's chance for sure.
Just
For
gotta
the
get
cool
that ball.
out so that they
Let me say this.
don't have to kill one person.
Right. But the Cardinals need to get the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr. They need to get him the ball.
Three
He's already
targets last
complaining.
week.
He's already complaining.
Yeah, 3 targets last week, right?
Right.
One catch
They
for
need to
4
get-
yards.
He is your top playmaker, and you need to get him the ball. He's gonna change that team. And so I mean that's my feelings. I mean, if you get Marvin Harrison Jr. the ball, not being
Well, here's the problem.
I'm being a homer because he's a Buckeye, but still.
You know what? The problem could have been that Kyler couldn't see over the offensive line and couldn't see him out there.
That's also a good point. Yes, you're right. Well, but Kyler made plays with his legs. He made a lot of plays with his legs in that game.
He did. He looks like a little scat back, a roach running across the fucking kitchen.
Yeah, it's tough. How tall is he? 5'8", 5'7"?
Something like that.
Man.
I mean, his real height, because I think in the guide they post him at like 5'11", but he's not 5'11".
He's 5'8", maybe 5'9" at the tops. He's not a tall guy. He really is.
Not tall at all.
No. So
Hey, what'd you guys think about Casey and the way they handled that Van Noy situation when he got injured? He suffered a fracture of his orbital socket, and the Kansas City medical staff didn't go to the locker room to attend to him for about an hour.
Oh, Kyle Van Noy with the Ravens.
He what?
Yeah, he's with the Ravens. You said Chiefs.
Well, yeah, he was talking about the Chiefs training staff.
Oh, the training staff.
Oh,
yeah. The staff. Oh, okay.
They didn't go in to assist or to check him out for about an hour.
No, I didn't hear anything.
They don't want to have all the medical shit to deal with something like that.
Right.
Not the visitor, not the road team. So they left him sitting there for an hour with a fractured orbital socket.
Dang.
Yeah.
That I was not aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find the story on it. I can't find it.
It's right here. It's the third one down from the NFL headlines on ESPN.
On ESPN.
Did he eventually? He didn't come back into the game, right?
No. Fractured orbital socket?
Yeah. I didn't think he came back into the game. It's been a week and a half. I don't remember.
NFLPA is saying that the treatment in KC was handled poorly.
Yes.
He ripped the Chiefs for what he called unprofessional treatment for his eye injury. NFL Players Association Director Lloyd Howell expressed disappointment in the responsiveness of the Kansas City medical staff. Was the Ravens medical staff not there, or what is it all about?
Again, to deal with something like that,
Yeah, you're not gonna have those
you're not going to have that.
candy if you're the road team.
Yeah. Because they got all the equipment inside that stadium. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Plus an ambulance standing by with medical personnel too.
Well, again, a lot of that is dependent upon where the game is at.
Yeah.
And the team that is the home team is usually most responsible, especially in situations like that, where the dude.
X-rays, MRIs, things like that.
Yeah. Those can be
It took
done.
an entire quarter for him to see the Chiefs ophthalmologist.
Yeah. So that's about an hour, right?
Yeah.
45 minutes to an hour.
So,
Yeah, no, that's sad, man. I mean, Kansas City's done a lot the last few years, but they've also had a lot of controversy as far as their training facility.
Yep.
The per diem for food.
Yep.
Their cafeteria or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like Kansas City is a great team, but they're not a great organization as far as I'm concerned.
So and now Pittsburgh goes to Denver. Wilson
The
is
Hunts
there.
are being cunts. Huh?
Pittsburgh goes to Denver, and Wilson is closer and closer to returning. But we think Justin Fields.
He's not
He
playing.
ain't returning this week. Not this
No.
week. He'll be
Justin
back for week 3, maybe. But
It'll be Justin Fields.
So here's another one. If Justin Fields balls out against Denver, does he stay the quarterback even if Wilson's healthy?
My opinion, he has to, because if Wilson comes in and then he
Lays an egg.
unspectacular, then now you're gonna have a divided locker room.
But just remember that you're talking about a guy that, I mean, as pedestrian as they played, they scored 6 field goals. They couldn't get the ball in the
Couldn't
end
get
zone.
the ball in the end zone. You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Against Atlanta.
Against Atlanta. And Yeah, no. And Denver at home. Remember, this is Mile High. A lot of teams have trouble going in there and succeeding because of the thin air and
The
all
thin
that.
air, the atmosphere, they're a
You
mile
know what I
up.
mean?
No, exactly. Yes.
So, and Bo Nix didn't play so bad.
No, he was
No,
actually
he didn't.
decent.
No, I mean,
No.
Of the
So-
rookie quarterbacks in play last week, I give Jaden Daniels first place and Bo Nix second, as far as performance goes.
Yeah,
Jaden
Jaden
Daniels
Daniels played well.
had a good shot. Had a good game last week. He really did. Even though they lost, but he had a good game last week.
Oh, absolutely. But
I mean, Pittsburgh goes in 1-0, Denver's 0-1. But again, I still think that Bo Nix had a pretty good outing despite losing the game. I mean, he pretty much stepped up to the plate as far as how Sean Payton and the coaching staff talked about him, that he's ready and he's ready to play. So that's going to be a good game. I hope Denver wins because, like, you know, guys, I hate Pittsburgh so fucking.
We already know that.
God. You know, and any you know, I hate in this order: Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Cincinnati. That's how I hate it. That's how it goes. So it is what it is.
Okay, well, speaking of Cincinnati, they're playing in Kansas City this week.
yeah, I was going to say
They're going to get their ass kicked just like they got beat by New England this week. They're going to get their ass kicked.
I don't think so. I think they bounce back. They bounce back.
I think Joe Burrow is still nursing that wrist of his. He didn't look that great last week.
And the thing is that nobody really knows how that affects a quarterback because I don't even remember ever hearing about a quarterback having a wrist injury like that.
Right.
You know, but remember, it's about familiarity.
Right.
And Cincinnati's very familiar with Kansas City.
But they don't have T. Higgins either. He's still out.
They can find a way.
And Jamar Chase didn't play. Jamar Chase, for holding out the whole all of training camp, he didn't play well last week either.
That's because Burrow didn't play well last week.
So I mean, Jamar Chase is yet to be paid.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Cincinnati's defense ain't no slouch either.
No,
You know but again, it's game planning.
It's all going to be about how Jamar Chase plays with the long layoff because he didn't play in the preseason, as well as his mindset saying because how has he played because the Bengals won't pay him. He's still got 2 years on his rookie contract. You know, if he's going to get paid, it's going to be paid after this season. That's normal for the NFL. So, I mean, deal with it, kid. I mean, you're still making still making six figures. Deal with it. You know?
lack of conditioning when you don't go to off OTA.
You're not doing off-season workouts. You're not doing training camp workouts. You don't play in any preseason games. I mean, again, I also tout that up. It was why Deshaun Watson didn't play very well because he didn't play anything in the preseason. Not a God blessed. I'm sorry, I said his name. Damn it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You
realize you said his name, right?
I hate that. Number 4 didn't play at all in the preseason.
But here's the thing: Kansas City. I don't know. They didn't look that impressive to me against Baltimore.
Well, that's against Baltimore. This is the Bengals.
The only thing impressive about Kansas City against Baltimore was Baltimore had how many illegal formations?
Yeah, that weren't actually illegal formations.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I mean those calls were bullshit.
But they didn't call them against Kansas City.
Right.
No,
When Taylor is constantly lining up.
lining up in the backfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, again, and the thing is, Cincinnati can go in there and upset Kansas City easily.
It's going to be harder for them to do it at Arrowhead than it would be in Cincinnati. So we'll see how
They beat them in Arrowhead before.
They're taking care of business there before.
in the
That's how
AFC
they got to the Super Bowl. That's how they got to the Super Bowl.
They beat him in KC. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah. Something
So
Buffalo's never been able to do.
They have the recipe for beating Kansas City in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Execution is what it all comes down to.
Yep. It's all about execution.
Yep. They don't have their best games against Cincinnati.
Nope.
And that championship game when they went to play Philly 2 years ago, that lack of a holding call against the Chiefs that allowed them to go down and score the winning touchdown and send them to the Super Bowl instead of Kansas City.
Speaking of holding calls or the lack thereof, how about that non-holding call on Joey Bosa the other night?
Yeah.
My man had him in a chokehold. WWE.
Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa. Yeah. What I
Yeah,
say?
they had him in a
Was he
chokehold.
choking the guy? I think I saw it. I think I saw the still.
Yeah.
He was choking the
And they
guy.
didn't call a penalty on that.
WWE style.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow. Wow.
But again,
Looked like he was trying to put him in the
the
sleeper
history-
hole.
the history of Cincinnati and Baltimore tells me that game is ripe for an upset. Because people will consider it an upset if Cincinnati wins. I wouldn't, because
I don't
historically
really know.
they've always played well against them.
Yep.
You know, matchups are a big thing. Yeah, and I'm sorry, you said T. Higgins is out. T. Higgins, I don't know. Sometimes to me, he's just like a wild card. You just don't know what you're going to get from the guy, if he's ever going to play, things like that. They got other receivers out there that they can, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's all going to depend. And this is where I think the biggest problem is that if Cincinnati can't keep up with the Chiefs, it's all going to be because they don't have Joe Mixon.
Who's playing very well with the Texans right now. He had a good
Game one. He played very well.
Yep.
I'm just saying,
Who's their number one running back now?
Zach Moss.
Who?
Zach Moss. He played with Indianapolis first, and then who did he play with after that? Zach Moss. Oh, he played for Indianapolis, right?
Yeah, he was in India.
Last year he was with Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Okay, and before that, well, and then they have Jonathan Taylor as well, and
Right.
so on and so forth. But we'll see.
Zach Moss is the Bengals' number one running back.
Number one running back, Zach Moss. Yeah. He was a high prospect coming out of college and stuff like that, and he just never got the chance in Indianapolis. But last year, when Taylor was out, he freaking lit it up.
Yeah, he balled out when Taylor got hurt.
Exactly. So, I mean, it might not be Joe Mixon. I'm just saying, if Zach Moss can step up, then that's going to help them out. If he can't, then they're going to be in trouble.
Yep.
Yeah, and of course, Jamar Chase is going to have to definitely do better than he did last week. But once again, that's all contingent on Burrow getting him the ball as well.
Well, I mean, and the rust for Jamar Chase too.
Yeah.
Wayne, you got to look at it that way too. He's got rust. So, I mean, there was rust for Aaron Rodgers. There was rust for other quarterbacks in the league, including number 4 in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And that's why the NFL is a marathon, not a sprint, because you're going to get yourselves, you're going to settle in by week 4. The first month of the season is where players find out where they're at and teams find out what they've got. And then moving forward from there is when we see the good stuff, like in October, November, and December. That's where teams are going to shine that have good talent. So
good talent that stays somewhat healthy throughout the
healthy, yes. And you know what? So it's a wait and see process to see how they go. The Browns put a lot of defensive players on IR this week. So they're going to be out at least until week 5. So, but it is what it is. All right, guys, we're going to get the heck out of here.
Oh, we got 2 more games to talk about.
2 more games? What 2 more games?
Chicago at Houston Sunday night.
That's the
Caleb
Sunday night game.
Caleb Williams.
I think Houston wins that game. I
may watch that one.
Yeah, Caleb Williams versus CJ Stroud.
I think CJ is going to win that game. It's going to be all CJ Stroud. The Bears offense didn't show us anything. It was all the defense.
No, and they got lucky.
Special teams that won that game.
They got lucky. Yeah,
And then you
Chicago.
talk about Atlanta and Philadelphia. Really? Seriously?
Atlanta, Philadelphia.
I mean, come on. It's the Eagles being at home and Saquon Barkley's
That could get ugly
debut
fast.
at Lincoln Financial Field. The Eagles are going to be so ready because Atlanta is just not.
And that's fine by me because I have Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts.
All right, here we go about fantasy. Here we go. So, but no, I think Philly is just gonna smoke the Falcons. I mean, Kirk Cousins is still nursing that Achilles, whether he wants to say it or not out loud.
You know, this is the third straight season that Kirk Cousins plays Philadelphia in Philly on the second week of the season in primetime.
The irony.
and he's going to lose this game too. So I'm
Kirk
just
Cousins couldn't get away from Philadelphia, even moving.
so, but yeah, I just Monday night is going to be ugly for Atlanta, and I think Sunday
I
night.
hope so. I hope so.
And I think
I ain't
Sunday
got no
night will be
Falcons
ugly
on my
for
roster.
Chicago. He's hoping Saquon goes off with 4 touchdowns this time instead of 3 last week.
I don't care what he does. You know what? He could get 2 as far as I'm concerned, as long as Hurts gets a couple.
There you go. There you go.
know?
All right, guys.
You know what? I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but that tush push doesn't look quite the same without Jason.
Without
Kelce.
Jason Kelce,
No,
you're right.
no.
Yes.
No, it does not.
It just looks like a cheap imitation.
But I'll
of
tell
it.
you what, Jason Kelce is doing a fine job with his broadcasting. He's really doing a good job.
Oh, I think he is, but you know, what was the meme I saw the other day? Oh yeah, the Cleveland
Oh
Browns.
God.
They were saying that Fox and the Cleveland Browns are the only ones that spent $300 million on a quarterback that ain't worth nothing.
So what did you guys think of Tom Brady on Fox?
The results, the reviews that have come in, he should go back to playing football.
Yeah. They weren't good. I mean,
No.
so.
They spent. That's what I'm saying. Fox spent $300 million on a quarterback. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
so.
Some people are saying, finally, something Brady sucks at.
Well, he's got the whole season to get better. We'll see how it goes by the end of the season.
Yeah, but if they're not letting him in production meetings and all that
They
kind of
can't because of his ownership
stuff, I
issue.
understand that. I understand that, but I don't give a shit if you're Tom Brady or not. You're not going in cold after an entire week of not covering teams and so on and so forth, and then be able to communicate that.
Yeah, properly analyze what you see.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you don't know. You gotta hear it secondhand.
You got to
You know
hear
what
it
I'm
from guys like his coach, was it Burkhalter or whatever his name is, his
Kevin
play-by-play
Burkhalter.
guy,
Yeah.
and then Aaron Andrews is another one that gets in on his meetings. He has to get notes from those two in order to have a chance to have a decent show,
that's
broadcast.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
orange,
you think so.
that orange buffoon was in town today.
Oh God, Elliot, he was in Tucson today.
Yep.
Ironically, at the Linda Ronstadt Theater.
Oops.
The Linda Ronstadt Theater, or no less.
Donald Trump says he will not debate Kamala Harris again.
Because he's scared, Elliot. He's freaking scared.
Later, Tim.
because
He's
he
scared.
because he knows she'll whip his ass again.
Hey, Jamal, good to see you, buddy. All right.
What's up,
Anyway,
Jamal?
on that note, we're going to call it a night.
Hey
Elliot.
Jamal, CMC's gonna be out again this week.
CMC's
Prepare.
out this week. All right. Yeah.
Well, he has CMC on his roster.
Well, you know what, and that's why they got Mason. So we'll be okay, Elliot.
Well, yeah, Mason kind of outed his team and so on and so forth as
Well,
far
and
as
you know
the
what?
injury.
The news says, and I think I said this on Tuesday night, that Mason is the greatest Mason ever to hit San Francisco since Mason from The Rock, since John
Rock.
Connery.
Sean Connery's character.
Yes. So
All right.
anyway, guys, we'll
Let's
see
do
you
it.
on Sunday. We're gonna get the heck out of here. And if I'll be posting this show up to YouTube. Twitter's already posted. I'll be YouTube, Peak D, and Spotify. So look for it there. If you missed the whole show, we'll see the replay there. On behalf of my co-host, Mr. Wayne, the Professor Lynch, and Mr. Elliot Big E, the producer Lamba, we will see you guys on Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. as usual. Elliot, play the outro. Tim says he's going to say play. He's going to go eat some dog.
For this latest episode of the Sports Nerd Show. Please keep in mind that we do this on a regular basis every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday night. And since each night's start time is different, please check out our SNN group page on Facebook for the correct times. So until the next time we come together, Nerd Nation, on behalf of the Sports Nerd and his co-hosts, Ken Coslow, Doug Olson, Wayne Lynch, and me, Big E, may your lives be filled with all the best sports action anyone human can handle, as well as all the joy it can possibly bring you. And with all that said, good night, Nerd Nation, as the time has come to say, we